Hello, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are going to talk about my first accident as a driving instructor, essentially. Now, this actually wasn't me driving, it was my student. However, it doesn't matter. So we'll actually break down the video and see what could have been done differently, if anything, which unfortunately in this case there was really not much either me or my student could have done differently. But as I said, we'll get into that very shortly. First of all, what do you do when you get into an accident? So as long as it's nothing serious, it's a minor incident and no one gets hurt, exchange the information, and that includes your driver's license, your insurance, and your registration. Take pictures of the damages to both vehicles so that you have that on record. And if you can, just go your separate ways and then let the insurance company and your adjusters and the ICBC, whoever is in charge of your claim to deal with that. And yes, you do have to contact the ICBC, whether through online or through phone, make a claim, and then they will determine based on the evidence who is at fault, and you go from there. But as long as it's nothing serious, no one gets hurt, you don't have to involve, police or any other first responders. You should be, as long as the vehicle is okay to drive and you exchange all the information, you should be able to drive from the scene of the incident. Again, as long as no one gets hurt. Obviously, if you hit pedestrians or cyclists or anything else along those lines, that's a different story. Okay, so we're talking about a small fender bender or a minor fender bender, and that's it. Exchange your information, take pictures of the license plate, and if you want, registration and the driver's license of the other driver, and that's it. That's what happened in this case, and I've been involved in few incidents, and that's usually the way I deal with them, as long as they're not serious. On few occasions, yes, you have to involve the authorities, but that's a different story. So exchange the information. If you can, drive away. And that's it. So let's just get into the video and break it down and see what happened. Okay, so first we're just gonna play it in real time. So again, this is my student driving. It's a nice sunny day. This is at the end of the lesson, and we're just going straight. We have the right of way in this instance. First of all, this Tesla does not stop at the stop sign and just cuts the turn, cuts the corner. I'm gonna slow it down here and we're gonna break it down into little steps. So there's a Tesla, and including me, those other two vehicles have the right of way in this moment. So this person just cuts everyone off, essentially. There's a stop sign, and because she's also cutting this turn tremendously, she ended up essentially hitting us. We were already in the process of braking. Both me and my student slammed on the brakes and just ripped the bumper off. It was, again, it wasn't serious, but it still sucks. And unfortunately, my car ended up being a total loss, so it's completely gone. I had to get a replacement vehicle. I got lucky that I found another car that was already set up for a student driver. So if you see, I'm going to back in. There's a Tesla. She is going to pull over. I'm going to clean up the scene of the accident as much as I can, as long as there's no spillage. Then you may need to call the city, as they need to come in and possibly clean it up. If it's something serious, if you're leaking any fluids, I'm just going to walk around, and yeah, it sucks. And at this point, I'm pretty sure that my car is effed. So, all these different thoughts are going through my head. And we'll get into the pictures now. So that's what it looks like from the front. And this is after me clipping the bumper in as well, because the bumper was hanging on the bottom a little bit. And there's a little bit of damage to the frame as well. The battery was pushed in. Not a lot, but I think that's why it's probably a total loss. There's a damage to the Tesla. So that door is also messed up. So is the fender, but that's an expensive car, so it's going to get fixed. So I just clean up the scene of the accident. I put things together as much as I can. I put all my parts in the trunk, and we were able to drive. There were some things rubbing on the wheel. However, I was able to kind of tie those loose things up a little bit so I can drive my student home. because as I said, this was at the end of the lesson, so I just ended up driving it home and drove the car back home, and then the car actually ended up being towed from my house 2 days after the incident. So that's it. That's the video. Hopefully this doesn't happen to anybody else, but that's why it's so important to always scan intersections and stop at stop signs, especially two ways and one ways, because if you don't, you're gonna crash. And so that's that. Try to avoid that and don't make mistakes as that vehicle did. We'll see you in the next video. Take care. Ciao.